What up? Day 2 of talking to myself. So I just finished watching the video and I really do say a lot, or and other things where when I'm more nervous, I talk with my mouth closed a little bit more, and when I'm less nervous, I can smile more. It's interesting. Just things I learned from watching myself. So, how to fill this 10 minutes today? I didn't really plan this out. Thought about planning it out and like bringing specific topics, but we'll see. We'll just improv it. We'll just do it through the medium of improv and theater. I don't know. All right. So, also one other thing is I notice I sit here and rub my head a lot when I'm thinking through things and trying to recall things. Don't know what that's about. Maybe just like it's the nervous tick. Like some people I've seen when they're talking, they'll like play with their mustache or facial hair, or rub their eyebrows and things to that effect when they're monologuing or talking about something in front of other people. But anyway, I digress. Sitting outside of work. Not a bad day so far. A little bit varied. That's one of the things I actually enjoy about being in my position and what I do is I get a lot of variety because I work in an office setting for the most part, and have my own little cube and things, but I'm always getting up and helping people with their IT stuff. I also have to go and work at our company sometimes, or our specific units, because I'm at a battalion level. I have to go to our units, and our units are like, we have 3 of them here at the battalion with me, and then 1 in Bremerton and 1 in Anacortes, and it means I get to go on the road and visit the ones sometimes just to like check on their commo stuff or do things that involve, can get into specific details on a lot of stuff, but like I have to go to them and I just check on radios and things to that effect. It gives me that variety and I enjoy the variety. Other times I have to go down to JBLM or Kent Murray and talk to people there and drop off laptops, go talk with Duum people or whatever have you. So that's part of what I really enjoy about being AGR in the Army and things to that effect. So on the topic of Army, that was one other thing I noticed. I like slouched a little bit in the video yesterday, but on topic of Army. So I've been in the military for 14 years. I'll be 15 in July, right? Yes, if my math is correct. Math is correct. All right. And when I joined, I was just like, I'm doing this to pay for college, because I had been filling out my ACT packet, and I was like, how am I gonna deal with being $80,000 in debt for going to school for an undergrad? How am I gonna live with that? And I don't want to do that. So I joined basically to pay for college. And when I was in basic and AIT, mostly AIT, basic, my friends and family were like, just lay low before basic training. Or rather, lay low in basic training. Don't make waves and stuff like that, and you won't get in trouble, and you won't be like the center of attention and things. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And in doing that, I was like, I realized I, not necessarily entirely, but sort of robbed myself of opportunities in basic training to be a squad leader, a platoon sergeant, or a platoon leader, or yeah, platoon sergeant, I think that's what they used to call them, when we were in basic. And I could have done those things, and it would have at least helped me in the generic idea of getting things, or being responsible for people. And when I went to AIT, I kind of started off doing the same thing, and the feedback I got from like the my platoon sergeant and and when I went to phase 2 of AIT, because I was in a longer one, they said like you're good at this. You somehow, well, your cohorts are like barely managing to show up on time, functioning, and blah blah blah. You show up, you get your stuff done, you're on task and stuff like that. You could do this. You could be active duty Army and stuff, and you'd go well. And I was like, that's cool. I want to go back and get my degree and be National Guard and stuff, and which was fine. And so I went and did my degree and things, and was in the Army, and I enjoyed doing that. It definitely hard at points. I remember one particularly hard time during sophomore year when I was going through OChem, because my undergrad's in biology, and I had like drill, a massive test, and then another drill or drill one weekend, and it was like the end of October, a massive test in the middle, and drill the next weekend. It was like the first weekend in November, because they try to drill earlier in November because of Thanksgiving, and I was just like, oh god. It was a bad weekend, or a bad week, and I don't think I did good on that test, but I remember the curve was good, or the curve was nice enough that I wasn't failing. And I think that was like one of the first major tests in OChem. Probably maybe it was like midterms or something to that effect. And just it had points where it was hard, like anything. It had points where it's hard, and graduated. Actually, after I graduated, I was like, what can I do with my degree to get a job or whatnot, and like what other opportunities I can do to get a job. I was kind of burnt out of school a little bit at that point, and didn't necessarily want to go get a master's in biology. Was also looking at being a physician's assistant, so I could like, hey, I have this Army background. I could go to the physician's assistant program that the Army has. It's actually a pretty good program. And I decided I didn't really want to do that, because I don't like being responsible for people's lives and my ability to do math, being responsible for their lives and stuff like that on the fly, and just like, yeah, so that wasn't my idea of a good time. And hunted around for jobs in Ohio, and especially when doing military, and Ohio was going through a drawdown at that time, and I was competing against people who had a lot of more experience, and so I just wasn't getting a job. Ended up trying to go for a master's in business, and like started trying to do defense contracting, and eventually got a job with Boeing and worked all that stuff. And I was miserable. Moved out to Washington and was working at Boeing and everything. But I was miserable working in the office and doing that. Partly that was just the job. We worked a lot of hours and whatnot. And I did not get a lot of bang for the buck, put it that way. And just sitting at a desk every day was bleh. So I decided to go and try to do things to get back to active duty, or be an AGR, and eventually, worked with my unit for ADOS, and then eventually went AGR, and been doing it since 2019, May-ish. I've been on orders, and then I finally got AGR in 2020? Yeah, 2020, December 2020, and I've enjoyed it a lot. So that is 10 minutes.